I want to get in front of groups of people and I want to speak. I have something to say. So we're going to need to work on our bravery and actually pull deep within and find that gumption and that courage to stand up and to say something. And if people hate me for it, they're going to hate me for it. But that doesn't mean that what I have to say isn't worth being heard and isn't worth taking the time to pull together and communicate to the world.
Welcome to Chez, Genèse, the place of new beginnings. My name is Catherine Hubert, and I founded and own a French-inspired cafe where, as a team, we are on a mission to change the way that our world understands neurodiversity and employs humans with disabilities. Our restaurant was born and is based in Greensboro, North Carolina, and that's where we practice and teach our mission and model. This is our channel where we dive in deep to who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Our hope is that this content is empowering to disabled and non-disabled humans alike, and that no matter what perspective you are coming from, employer, employee, parent, friend, or Chez Genèse fan, you feel welcomed, you learn something new, and you walk away with a deeper appreciation and understanding of humanity.
Welcome everybody. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. We are taking a break from disability related content just for today to talk about how YouTube is changing my life and our little business with less than 500 subscribers. As a lot of you know who've been with us for a while, we are working to grow our channel and to grow our number of subscribers this year, but it's been helpful for me to stop and reflect about all the growth that has already happened because of our YouTube channel, even if that's not yet reflected in a subscriber count. So we're taking a moment to do that today. I'm excited to have you along. There are going to be 3 main takeaways that are reflective, representative of the biggest growth that I feel like I have seen within our business, within myself. So we're going to take just a minute to break that down. So here we go. Welcome. At the time of filming this, we have 340 subscribers on YouTube and have been creating content for about 2 years. The first year was really an experimental year. Last year, we started to get a better understanding of what kind of content we wanted to create. And this year, we are rooting into our brand and hoping to grow. All that being said, our channel is still relatively small, but it has changed our business and my life in 3 key ways. 1, consistency. The simple, but not so easy, routine of creating weekly content has pushed me to take all my thoughts, dreams, and ideas in my head, process them, and then verbalize them in a way that other people can understand and receive. I'm constantly taking in the world around me, whether that's with my team, in media that I'm consuming, conversations that I'm having with my friends, etc. But developing content around my observations has encouraged me to really sit with my own understanding of disability, get curious about my feelings, identify my own bias, and ultimately be willing to put those thoughts out into the world. It's been a great catalyst for growth, both within myself as a leader and then also my business, as I've come to understand myself and my business better with these weekly content creation rhythms. Number 1, consistency. We have committed to creating 1 YouTube video a week, and we've been doing that for about 2 years, little over 2 years. Like, this is kind of our 3rd year of creating YouTube content. The first year, to be honest, was pretty rocky. It was me dipping my toes into the YouTube water for the very first time and trying to figure out what it was like to actually create content and videos. What were we going to talk about? How do we talk about it? How do I film? How do we try to make it interesting? A lot of those videos aren't even available on YouTube anymore. We've taken them down and they're just in our own personal archives. But it was a whole process of trying to figure out, where do we film? Where's the best lighting in the restaurant? What time do I film? How do I create this weekly rhythm? What works best for my schedule? When is the restaurant empty so that I actually have the space to film? Like, all these just logistics, figuring out those routines. But that process of just starting to do it has created a weekly rhythm for me as a business owner to stop, to sit down, to pause, to reflect on the things that I've been thinking about, whether that's over the past week or usually it's for longer than that, but to actually have a rhythm as a business owner where my life is pretty fast paced, especially when I'm at work. The restaurant industry is busy. There's a lot of activity going on. There's a lot of people, both within my team or guests, to talk to coordinate, to manage, etc. So for me to have once a week a time where I sit down in my own restaurant space and talk about the things that I'm thinking about and get a chance to actually verbalize them has been a form, weirdly, of rest and reflection, but it has also enabled me to make progress and move forward with my own business thoughts and plans and ideas because it's forced me to articulate them. Instead of them all just swirling around inside of my brain and occasionally coming out to people that I'm talking to, it's been a consistent pathway for me to actually move forward and gain some traction in. So that consistency has been super helpful for me to kind of pause and take a break, but then actually gain some momentum and movement within thoughts and ideas that otherwise probably would have gotten stuck or remained stagnant. So that consistency has been pivotal in my own process and growth, which then transfers and translates into business growth as well. Number 2, creativity. YouTube has given me a new outlet for creativity. I'm nowhere near expert level in my video taking and filming skills, but I look forward to capturing little moments in my life and in my business that have ended up becoming a weekly video journal. It's easy for me to live in the future, making plans and checking off goals, but creating content has forced me into the moment, has encouraged me to take notice of little stories and experiences and then document them. I'm so thankful that I can go back and see little glimpses into the seasons and memories that we are building as a team, and it's fun for me to take a break from paying bills or flipping omelets to highlight moments of beauty that I would otherwise forget. Number 2, creativity. Something that I feel like is unique about me as a person is that I really, in a lot of different areas of life, like introvert, extrovert, I'm kind of like right in the middle. When it comes to being creative or being analytical, I'm also pretty in the middle. Like I have a very analytical, logical, rational side of me, but I also have a creative, artistic side of me. And the positions that I tend to be in, the leadership roles that I tend to be in, oftentimes draw more from my analytical, rational, logical brain and side. And I have still this creative, artistic side that wants to be expressive and that wants to get to experiment and be seen in the world. And so this YouTube channel has been a way for me to exercise that. I get to also exercise creativity within this restaurant in terms of the way that we design and decorate the inside of the space. I also get to exercise that creativity as the chef. Fun fact, if you didn't know that about me, that's not something that I actually talk about on this channel at all. But I actually am a chef and I am the chef of this restaurant. So I get to explore some of my creativity through creating menu items, creating recipes, making food, and actually creating something with my hands and then plating and presenting it. All of that, that's also a form of creativity for me. And also there's an element of that creativity that becomes very routine and sometimes mundane because we're making the same things over and over again. So for me, YouTube has been a space where I'm creating different content every week, which challenges me to come up with something new. It challenges me to see and to film this space and my team and myself in slightly different ways week after week after week. And it's been just a really fun space for me to get to play and to experiment with something that I hadn't really had much chance to experiment with before. All that to say, I know I am not an expert YouTuber or an expert videographer. Like those are not my trained skill sets. There are things that I'm learning and that I'm really fascinated by. And there are moments where I'm like, hey, that was pretty good right there. That was super cool. But I know that there's still like way more talented people in this realm than me. And it's really fun to draw inspiration from them. And also it's been something that I've seen myself grow in, and that's been fun to actually get to play and to be creative and to capture just like little glimpses or stories. Or when I'm out in Greensboro, walking, driving, enjoying my own city, to kind of catch glimpses or perspectives of things that maybe feel hidden or tucked away or that just stand out to me and things that I like or love about my own city, and then getting to share that with other people. So that's the second point.
Number 3, conversation. Creating an online platform with longer form content has opened up dialogue both in person and over the internet. Again, while this community is still YouTube small, I stop and remember that having 340 people in a room together is a big deal. I've gotten to interact with people that I never would have encountered without this channel, and my perspective and experience has deepened because of conversations I've had over content I'm making and questions that I'm pondering. It's been super cool, and the thing that makes me most excited and committed to keep going with this work. To sum it all up, starting a YouTube channel initially made me super freak out. I was so nervous putting my thoughts out where strangers could comment on them, and sometimes, to be honest, that's still really hard. But this channel and the community that is gathering around it has encouraged me to be brave, which sounds sappy, and it is a little, but I started this adventure at a time in my life when I was pushing deeper into the concept of belonging to myself and practicing being my full self in the world. None of that work has happened overnight, and it's also not isolated to YouTube and the content I am creating, but it is intertwined. And the theme of creating an integrated business model does tie in with my own work of creating an integrated life for myself, making room for all of me. I hope that you feel encouraged to do the same for yourself as you continue to watch and grow with our team.
Thirdly is conversation. This is the thing that makes me the happiest about this channel, and that is the connection and the conversations that I'm getting to have with people that I never would have been able to have otherwise. Again, I feel like the platform that we have here is still relatively small in terms of YouTube numbers. But when I stop and think about if I were to put 340 people into one room together, that's a big room of people, and that's an exciting and a vibrant room to be part of. And I've gotten to have conversations with strangers over the internet that I never would have met if I didn't have this platform. And I get to have conversations with our guests and with my friends that I also wouldn't have had before if I wasn't putting some of these questions or thoughts out into a space where people could take them in on their own time and then feel free to comment or talk about them as they want to. So while that can be intimidating, to be fair, it is intimidating sometimes to read the comments that are on YouTube, and sometimes my tender, sensitive soul seizes up for a second when I see some of them. By and large, the conversations that I get to have, the experiences and the perspectives that I get to witness or be part of have deepened my own understanding. It's encouraged me, it's challenged me. It's been just really fun and super cool, and definitely the thing that I'm most excited about in getting to actually grow this platform is to see that community of people grow, and that's part of why I'm doing the work that I'm doing, is that I don't feel like there's enough conversation happening around disability, and it's hard to create places that are safe, not comfortable necessarily, but safe for people to actually participate in conversation and ask questions. And it's been a hard thing to try to figure out how to create that kind of space virtually and through YouTube, but I think we're making some progress in that area, and we'll continue to grow in it, and I'm just excited to see what comes of it as a result. To sum it all up, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of our little, not so little YouTube community, for coming along for the adventure, for the ride. This process for me, the process of creating a YouTube channel, was very nerve-wracking. I remember the feeling when I first posted a video and just being like, oh my gosh, I don't know how people are going to respond. I don't know if anybody is going to respond. I don't know if people are going to like it, if they're going to hate it. Like, just that feeling of I'm taking thoughts that are coming from the inside of me and I'm putting them out into the world, and anybody can do what they want to with it, completely freaked me out. But I was like, but I want to do that. Like, I want to get in front of groups of people and I want to speak. I have something to say. So we're gonna need to work on our bravery and actually pull deep within and find that gumption and that courage to stand up and to say something. And if people hate me for it, they're gonna hate me for it. But that doesn't mean that what I have to say isn't worth being heard and isn't worth taking the time to pull together and communicate to the world. This channel has encouraged me to be brave, and it's really coincided with the time in my life. Like, when I started this channel, I started to push personally deeper into themes of belonging, specifically belonging to myself, and recognizing that that was the most important place. I am the most important person to belong to. Like, I need to belong to myself first. Brene Brown has an amazing book called Braving the Wilderness, which was transformative in my life in terms of really pushing into these concepts of belonging and belonging to myself. So that idea, the idea of belonging to myself and then showing up in the world as myself and being willing to do that at the risk of people not liking me, knowing that I like me and that I am safe with myself and that no matter what happens, I'm not willing to put myself back into my own shadows or trying to change myself or be someone that I'm not just so that other people will like or accept me. I want to be who I am and create relationships based out of that authenticity and find my own kindred souls and spirits in the world based off of who I really am instead of a projection or a performance. So that personal journey has really lined up with this journey of creating this channel. And it's also interesting to note the themes of creating a business where belonging is at the heart of it and where integration is also like written into the fabric of who we are, and recognizing that I'm working on those things in my life personally too, belonging to myself and also living an integrated life where all parts of me are welcomed and where all parts of me get to belong and to show up. And it's not hard. I mean, it's not hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. It's not hard, guys. It's super easy to dismantle just years of wounds and lies that I believed about myself. But that work, getting to do it in both spheres, my personal world and then also my work world, those two things are very connected, very commingled, and then getting to express that in a platform where then other people can be part of it. And my hope always is that you getting to be here and to be part of this channel makes you excited to be yourself, and that you are inspired to show up in the world as yourself and to also accept other humans as they are too. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. If you want to subscribe to us, that would also be great. That's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is just to share the impact that we feel like we're already receiving. But it's always exciting to see that community grow too. So thank you so much. We'll see you later. Chez Genèse team, your keyword for this week is lemon ricotta pancakes. Zach told me the other day, he was like, if you were to have just a sound bite, it would be okay, which is so true. I say that all the time. That's my reset, my personal reset button.